starters on the injured list, either to begin the season or on the injured list at some point during the first half. So they feel like they haven't hit their stride yet, but they have some very capable arms. And Kirby's first pitch is in for a strike. Jonathan India was on base 10 times during the homestand with 8 hits and 2 walks and 4 runs scored.
Love it. That's exactly what he's in that leadoff spot for.
On the ground, Crawford, who bobbles and still throws in time.
Oh, man, they would have loved that miscue there. And typically a shortstop, if you bobble once, it's almost not enough to get to recover and get you out, but he did.
Bobby Witt Jr. with 1 out and nobody on. You know, he has such a high standard with how he's played the last 2 years that it's easy to get caught up in saying that he's having an off season. But when you look at his numbers compared to other shortstops in the major leagues, he is not having an off season. First of all, he leads the major leagues with 29 doubles. He is on pace for 56, which would be a Royals team record. Hal McRae had a 54 double season. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Alex Gordon and Billy Butler are the only other 2 Royals who have ever had more than 50 doubles in a single season.
Yeah, that's getting it done. We know he's an extremely talented young player.
Late breaking slider away, and that's Kirby's first strikeout. 2 down.
Okay, that starts right. It starts up. I think the location up is what tricked him into swinging, and then the ball just had some heavy bite down.
That also looked like he didn't see it well.
Yeah.
And with so many teams, including the Royals, going to either 6:10 or 6:40 start times, it's an advantage for the pitchers in the early innings with that backdrop in the bright sunlight, but the pitchers and the hitters are in the shadows.
Yeah, there's some deceit. What's the word I'm looking for? Deception.
Depth perception issues.
There's problems with that. The ball looks darker when it's a bright backdrop like that. And those outfielders, a right and center fielder, they're looking into the teeth of the sun, especially the right fielder.
2-1 on Garcia. And it's not like you can't see the ball. You just don't see the ball as well.
Right. And then that's the importance of hitting. Gosh, you got to be able to see it and coming up there at that speed. It's Dominic Canzone in right field who's battling that sun.
Two and two. George Kirby was the Mariners' first-round pick back in 2019. He is 27 years old. That'll be out of play. Kirby's coming off his best season as far as wins go. He won 14 last year for the Mariners. And that was after winning 13 in 2023, where he was an all-star for the first time. This Mariners starting rotation is not only a good one, it, for the most part, is a young starting rotation. Another foul ball, still 2-2.
So, first time through, Kirby's going to go out and try to establish his fastball. He knows that all the hitters look for that. But you can see what he did against the Twins, or what they did against him. And, just 3 hits. I mean, he goes right after you. And by the looks of that, with the strikeouts low, he's pitching to contact.
That is fair to deep third, and Mastroboni throws out Garcia. And the Royals go down 1-2-3 in the top of the first. J.P. Crawford. He had an off year last year. He had career lows in batting average, OPS, and strikeouts. But he's bounced back. Here's Michael Wacha's numbers. And what we don't have on there is the lack of run support. Crawford is on with a leadoff single. Michael Wacha, over his last 2 starts against Seattle, 2023 and 2024, has given up just 1 earned run over 12 innings. So the Mariners are just as concerned with Wacha as the Royals are with George Kirby.
No question about it. Wacha is a very consistent veteran pitcher. Loves the fastball changeup combination. We'll show you his arsenal here in a little bit.
One and one on Julio Rodriguez. He just went 7 for 15 at Texas. Mariners took 2 out of 3 from the Rangers, but they played 3 extra inning games. Ground ball left side, out at second, and that is a double play on a close play at first.
Beautiful. And the ball wasn't hit all that hard. It was going to be a tester because Rodriguez can really run. But a nice job getting over there to India. We'll show you our defense. Now, we're 9th in outs above average, which we have better range, and we're plus 11. But we have the 3rd. Seven outs above average. Salvy's throwing out 8 of 15. The captain. They run, so it's good he could be on his mark.
1-0 on Cal Raleigh with 2 outs and nobody on base. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Royals did an excellent job of dealing with the hitters in front of Shohei Ohtani over the weekend. It seemed like every time Ohtani came up, there was nobody on base. And they would love to do the same thing with Cal Raleigh. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, hot hitters like that, you can't do much about their ability outside of not giving them anything good to hit. But that hitter ahead of him, two ahead of him, that's who you really want, because you get on base with him, man, he's dangerous.
Three and one. It's not only hitting home runs like crazy, but slowly but surely is turning into a very complete player. And when he was drafted out of Florida State, there was a feeling that he would hit in the big leagues, but his defense was a question mark. But he has worked hard every year to improve defensively, and he won the Gold Glove and the Platinum Glove last year. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And then in spring training, the Mariners gave him a 6-year contract extension, which he has admitted that has put him at ease. Hit that over to the Mariners dugout on the first base side.
That's good that he takes it like that, putting it at ease, a long contract. And lots of guys, it puts pressure on themselves. It's self-induced pressure. That's a good way he said it. Hey, look, I'm relieved. I can go play now.
Backing out of play.
And you know, Rhino, he's in his 4th year of Major League Service too. It's not like this guy's an old veteran. He's still fairly new on the block, and I like his chances of having a real nice career if he can just bottle up what he's doing this year.
Good pitch. And Raleigh was reaching out, pulled it foul.
Some of the highlights we've been seeing off of him is he's hitting good pitches that are down below the zone because his hands stay back so well, and he's able to get underneath that ball and get the backspin on low pitches, and he gets good extension and carry. Just like that. We're going to get that one.
His bell is there, and so the Mariners send just 3 to the plate in the bottom of the first inning. No score in Seattle. scoreless innings. And then at Kauffman Stadium, a no decision. 1 run over 7 innings. No walks over 14 innings. And that's what the league knows about George Kirby. He is a strike thrower. He has 9 walks over 38 innings so far this year. Upstairs, ball 1 on Vinny Pasquantino.
But like I said, he's trying to get that fastball established, and he's a really good slider curveball guy. So he lets hitters see that, and then maybe second, third time around, he'll bring in more breaking balls. He's 6'4". He's got a good pitcher's frame. 220, 215. Shakes his glove, try to get the hitter off of any pitches he might be looking for. Got in on
pitch in on his hands. And Crawford is there. So that's a really good pitcher's pitch with the count 2-0.
That's exactly right. Hitter's looking to hit there, but if you locate it in, he don't barrel it.
Salvi had 4 hits on the homestand, giving him 1,643 and tying him with Alex Gordon for 6th on the Royals all-time list. So with his next hit, he will be 6th place all by himself.
Nice place to be, the captain.
No swing. And this is a place where Salvi's had some big games and big series in the past. I remember he had a 2 Grand Slam series here 2 years ago. Solano, the first baseman, is inside the line. 2 down. George Kirby had some remarkable strikeout to walk numbers in college, and that's one of the reasons why he was taken in the first round. But then you wonder, well, how will that translate to professional baseball? He did not allow a walk in his first 23 professional innings.
Wow.
All right, well, how does that work then in the major leagues? That's what he did in the minor leagues. That's one of my favorite stats. He made his big league debut against Washington in 2022. And in that start, he threw 24 straight strikes.
Oh, man. Really?
So not only does he have good control, but right out of the gate as a big leaguer, he was not afraid to throw a strike. 24 in a row. Caglione hits a 2-hopper to Solano, and the Royals are down quickly and quietly in the second inning.
Hiding in the bungalow, she felt so young. The night she was much younger than the other. Feeling like a prisoner there in the light. She stood, she knew they couldn't miss her. And then they took her wrestler, walked over lifeless. You wrote to me, 'cause she wanted me. She kept quiet, they kept beating her. They felt sad for her, but an order is an order. She was a prisoner there in the light. She stood, but she knew they couldn't break her. And by the shore, the bombs were falling with the snow. You wrote to me, 'cause she wanted me.
He's starting. Matt Quattrero saying that it's the talent, of course, but it's the fact that he plays every single day, along with the off-the-field humility and the way that he treats everybody. Lucas Ursag had a good perspective as someone that had played in this division, the American League West, and saw him from the other side. He said the plan against Bobby Witt Jr. was don't ever give him anything to pitch. I'm glad I don't have to face him now. It is not a fun at-bat. And Noah Cameron, also a unique perspective, saying that, hey, he had watched him before he made it to the big leagues, but he said Bobby Witt Jr. is younger than me, and he is the guy. He is our second in command after Salvador Perez. He expects so much of himself. And then Noah, remembering his big league debut, he said, I get to the big leagues in Tampa, and he makes the most ridiculous play that I've ever seen. And I thought, oh, welcome to the big leagues. They've got a dugout full of people here that are absolutely certain that he is the best shortstop in baseball, guys.
I would definitely agree. And, you know, the young kid that's broken in for Oakland that's leading in voting, you know, that's the only thing that's standing in the way is the vote. We're not talking about who's got the better skills. We know that. The kid can't hold a candle to Junior in a lot of other categories. He can hit, but he's only in his first year. Let's see what he can do, you know, next year. But this year, we'll wait and see what the vote tells. But Junior's the most talented by far.
India goes out and retires a Rosarena.
That's just my opinion.
Jeez, it's like the A's should release the kid or something like that. Now, Jacob Wilson has an advantage in batting average, but, you know, I think there's a feeling that he's having a much better year than Junior. Bobby has more home runs. He leads the major leagues in doubles. He has more RBIs. OPS, the edge goes to Wilson. Bobby is a Gold Glover on defense and seems to get better. That's not a strength for Jacob Wilson so far.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You put all the numbers there, it'll tell you. But I was impressed with the kid Jacob Wilson. I've never seen anybody so animated and energized in a batter's box.
Canzone pokes it to right, and that is not an easy play for Rave because, as HUD pointed out, both right fielders have the sun in their eyes, which makes it hard to read the ball off the bat and definitely read contact off the bat, but he got a good jump.
Well, Rave speed. Look, speed will make up for any little mistake that you make, whether you get a jump or not, and he was able to get under it. That is a tester, especially on a line drive to you.
And now 37-year-old Donovan Solano.
So much better playing here than the old cement dome across the street. They called it the Kingdom. Beautiful ballpark.
And the football field beyond left field, you can see the top of it. That is on top of where the Kingdom was. Right. And they ended up with two beautiful stadiums. They don't have the parking like we do at the Truman Sports Complex, but they've got the baseball and football stadium right next to each other.
That's right.
One and two on Solano. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. This is big league season number 12 for Solano, at least parts of 12 seasons after 8 years in the minor leagues. Sounds like you.
Wow. You know what? I love his perseverance. He's got some skills. Obviously, you have to hit to stay up here. But he got here, and now that's exactly what he wants to do. But he's a grinder.
And Waka gave him a pretty hittable pitch, but because of his changeup, Solano had to respect that with 2 strikes. And he was late Solano is from Colombia, and there's a handful of players from Colombia that have made it to the big leagues, and most of them grew up near the Venezuelan border. Colombia is a soccer-crazy country and very little baseball, except for that area near the Venezuelan border where baseball has spilled over into that part of Colombia. Another foul ball. And the next pitch will be number 10 in this at-bat.
Yeah, and he's battling left field, right field, fouling balls off on both sides of the line. He's going to look to hit one right in the middle. Ooh, didn't want the curve. But Ryan, he's a first baseman, catcher, and he's limited in his positions. So I give him more credit than would be my career, because he was very limited. I was able to do a lot of things that kept me in the game up here, but this kid here, he hits. That's his tool. Another foul ball.
Wow. He earned that. Mm-hmm. And the crowd appreciates it. He came back from 0-2 and ended up seeing 12 pitches.
Wow. That's too many.
And that'll bring up Mitch Garver, who is hitting .227 for the year, and his OPS is under 700, but he is coming off a very good road trip. In his last 4 games, Mitch Garver has 9 hits, 6 home runs, and 9 RBIs, so don't pay too much attention to his season numbers. And Walker gets a pop-up. Salvi has it. So the 2-out walk doesn't come back to hurt Walker. And at the end of 2, no score in Seattle. Of the Royals. Drew Waters leads off the 3rd. George Kirby has retired the first 6 Royals. Waters was just 1 for 12 during the homestand with a couple of walks. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-2. Another foul ball. Last year, Mariners not only had the best starters ERA in the major leagues, their rotation had the lowest opponent's batting average, the lowest opponent's on-base percentage, the lowest OPS, the fewest hits per 9 innings, the lowest whip, the best strikeout-to-walk ratio, and they had 92 quality starts. But George Kirby's been on the injured list. We just showed you Bryce Miller is on the injured list. Logan Gilbert has been on the injured list. And the Mariners' rotation has been mostly average so far this year. That's the second strikeout for Kirby and 1 down in the 3rd inning. Here's a message from Rally House.
Play ball, KC. Shop the latest in Royal style with your favorite.
John Ray with 1 out. Ray was 0 for 7 on the homestand, but he walked 3 times and had a stolen base.
Hopefully tonight's the night he can get a couple extra base hits, maybe even pop one out of the yard. Hit one in that homestand there. He hit one way out, but it just hooked foul. He's got some pop. Like to see it. So would he.
1-2. That is a hard, late-breaking slider. Able to hold his swing.
Okay, we showed you how George Kirby shakes his glove like that when the hitter's looking at him. He's getting the pitch from the catcher. Okay, they do that for a lot of reasons. One is it gets the hitter off of what the grip might be in his glove. And number 2, he wants the hitter to think about what he's gripping in there. And that kind of distracts him. Ooh. Now, that's intentional. You see how he showed the ball? Anytime a pitcher shows the hitter the ball, that's on purpose. He tries to make it discreet like it is, but he's not. He's trying to trick him. And see, there was 95. A split finger is thrown around 80, 85, or 87, and so he wants the hitter to see that. They have trickery they use. Because they know that hitter's looking for anything.
Crack bat. And Kirby flips it over to first base. 2 down. He also has the sleeves on, which sometimes that's just comfortable for a pitcher, but we've learned from you that another purpose of the sleeves is you can't see any kind of flex in the forearm. Let you know that you're saying some guys can pick that up when they're gripping the ball.
You're exactly right. Heck, I needed every bit of help I could get. Kind of hitter I was, but so I'm going to try to see if I can get at least if a major league hitter knows what's coming. It doesn't guarantee he's going to hit it, but it increases his chances. And you can see him re-gripping the ball. Say he's got the split finger in there now, and he's shaking his glove around, and he's changing it to a different grip. Slider, good swing.
That's the Royals' first hit and first base runner.
Nice. Goldie and I in the pregame show, we're talking about, the swing paths and staying inside the ball and using about 70% swing effort, maybe 75, 80, but nothing more than that. Doesn't take it. But you want to find holes. You can direct the ball better when you control your barrel.
Yeah, and you say direct the ball. That looked like Izzy came up and he saw the third baseman in. He saw the shortstop playing up the middle and just tried to find a pitch that he could take to the left side.
Yeah, and he's at the stage in his career now where he's starting to figure some things out. Takes reps and to see pitches to get better in this business.
Jonathan India grounded out to short in the first inning. line like a bullet into center field. So with 2 outs, the Royals get Isbell and India on for Bobby Witt Jr.
India's been all over the baseball. Look at that. That's a mistake right in the middle, but he's short with his swing. Gotta love it. Hit it right back where it came from. When you leave that batter's box, you're happy. See if Kirby can leave a mistake out over the middle for Junior. Getting on the board has been working for the Royals, even though they haven't early in a lot of these games here recently, last couple of weeks. But the times they have, that helps them with momentum. Gives the pitcher a little bit of edge. Waka.
That's the pitch that Bobby struck out on in his last at-bat, although the one that Kirby threw him was even farther outside. That was a more competitive pitch. That's where Raleigh wanted it, with a high target. 1 ball, 1 strike. Royals had 1 hit with a runner in scoring position against the Rays. They had 11 hits with a runner in scoring position against the Dodgers. There's that slider again. And it all has to do with whether Bobby sees that pitch out of Kirby's hand. He's picking up the spin. Does he see fastball coming out of his hand, or does he pick up the slider right away? And again, not all sliders are the same, and Kirby's has a reputation of breaking late.
Hardest kind of hit.
Might want to think about right field.
Yeah.
He's going to be pitching him away, away, away.
That's right. And, you know, he can then naturally react to the pitch in if it's a strike.
More of the plate with that one, and it's off of Young's glove.
That's it.
So Bobby Witt Jr. made contact with 2 strikes, and the Royals lead 1-0 in the 3rd inning.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what. That almost got caught right there by Cole Young. But Junior was able to fight it, okay? Nice job. Good head position, thinking opposite field, not trying to pull it. Went right over Kirby's head, and he deflected it just enough to get India to third base. Good job. Even though there's 2 outs, it don't matter. You get 90 feet away, he bounces one, you got a chance to score a run. Junior coming through there early. That's his 44th ribby.
And now Michael Garcia with runners at 1st and 3rd.
Pretty high leg kick by Kirby.
Notice the same thing.
Yep, Junior. You know, get a chance. Try to go for your 22nd steal. Do it with 2 outs. If you get thrown out, Mikey's leading off next inning. Doesn't hurt you. Get in scoring position.
That'll be out of play. Royals really don't have any answers for why they had such difficulty at Kauffman Stadium in the month of June, winning just 1 home game. But on the flip side, the Royals have played much better on the road. And here's a guy at the plate right now who is one of the best hitters on the road. There goes Junior, and Garcia grounds it out to Young and almost hit Bobby. And the throw is in time. But with 2 outs and nobody on, the Royals get 3 straight hits, and they lead 1-0. is one of the first retractable roof stadiums of its kind. Mastroboni hits it to deep center field, and that's a tough play for Isbell, going from the shadows into the sunlight. And that's a tough out for Mastroboni, who hit it right on the nose.
It was a great swing, but I'm an even better catch, though. You have to be some kind of athlete to do this in mid-run. Watch him, sees it, wants to catch it up top, but says, nah, look, I'm just going to Willie Mays basket catch it. It's an easier out, easier play, but he got there in plenty of time. He's a very talented athlete and a great center fielder, I think. We've been watching now for 3 or 4 years. He catches everything he should get to, everything. And then some. He's good at the diving plays coming in, back, taking perfect routes. Sure is helpful when you have a guy like that in center that can roam the pasture, they say.
And he's got kind of a roam the pasture look to him, doesn't he?
He does. He does. He's got that outdoorsy look.
Yeah. Line to right field and right at Rave. So it's a couple of fortunate outs for Michael Wacha and a couple of hard hit balls. This ballpark opened in the middle of 1999. That's very rare that ballpark doesn't open on opening day in a season, but they started 99 in the Kingdome and then moved over here. Hard to believe it's that old already. But it was really the first of its kind in that while it had a retractable roof, that when the roof is open, if you will, it has a complete feel of an outdoor ballpark. And even when it's closed, it's not sealed like a lot of retractable roof stadiums, and you can still feel the breeze if it's raining outside. In fact, that's one of my favorite times to be here, is when they have some rain and the roof is closed, but you can still feel that breeze. We're right on the Puget Sound. And most stadiums that have a roof, even when it's open, you still feel like you're enclosed, but not here. It is a great night to have that roof open. 1-2 on J.P. Crawford.
Yep, it all happened in the '95 season. Before that, they were all talking about moving out to Tampa Bay in that place they played arena baseball over there. The Rays do. They were going to move there. They've been losing. They're having losing seasons, and everybody was down here. 1-game playoff in '95 against the Angels. I was on that team. We came to the Kingdome, and there was 50-something thousand inside that stadium. In a 1-game playoff, 163rd game, and Randy Johnson was waiting for us, and they won. And they went on and beat the Yankees in the playoffs. Got the energy here, and they decided to build him a ballpark.
So there you go. The house that HUD built.
Out of futility.
Standing on the porch in the night, thinking how we used to be way back in time. Barefoot on the grass, open skies. I can feel it every time I close my eyes. Yeah. Can you remember when we were young and free, like queens up on a thrones? Never surrender, we're having too much fun. Could feel it in my bones. I was never alone.
1-0 Royals. Bobby Wood Jr. had a 2-out single in the third inning. Kyle Isbell came around to score. Vinny popped out in his first at-bat on a good pitch with the count 2-0. Kirby got a fastball in on Vinny. He popped to short. 1 ball, 1 strike. Royals started that rally with 2 outs and nobody on. Isbell singled, India singled, and then Bobby, who was having some trouble with Kirby's slider, finally got one that caught some of the plate and lined a base hit off of the second baseman's glove. Now Vinny grounds it right side, and Young slides on the grass and throws him out.
He made a nice recovery there. It looked like he's having a hard time getting to his feet, but he had a little bit more time with Vinny running.
Mariners' first-round pick in 2022. Cole Young out of high school in the Pittsburgh area. And he began his big league career going 1 for 19.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to the club.
And now he's starting to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
Helps when he's playing defense like that. 1 ball, 1 strike on Salvi.
Sure does, man. When you can help your team win on the other side of the ball, when you're without a bat in your hand, it really makes you feel good.
He had a heck of a debut against Minnesota on May the 31st. Salvi hits it into left center field, and Rosarena runs it down. So I mentioned that Young began his career 1 for 19, but in his first big league game, and it was here, and there were 37,000 fans here for a weekend game. The game was on national TV. He got his first big league hit out of the way early, and then in extra innings, he had a walk-off fielder's choice. Becoming the first Mariner in history to have a walk-off in his first big league game.
Wow.
And here's a little trivia question for you, Hud. He was the first major leaguer to have a walk-off in his first big league game since 2023.
Was he wearing a Royals uniform?
He was wearing a Royals uniform. In fact, he was wearing a Royals uniform.
I remember it was at the K.
Well, being that it was a walk-off, yes, it was at the K.
Well, come on. Hey, it's Samad Taylor.
That's right. Samad Taylor had a walk-off.
I got emotional. I almost cried. I think I did cry, but that was so special for him. Wow. I remember his parents were in the stands.
Mm-hmm.
How fun.
And Samad and Young were teammates here in the Mariners minor league system. Caglione takes a strike, 3-1. And then he was 0 for his next 15 after that day.
Welcome to the big leagues. All right, look for a pitch to drive.
3 balls, 2 strikes. And now Caglione, he can relate to what Young went through. Jack has 1 for his last 22 after grounding out in his first at-bat.
It's a nice, easy swing. Don't overswing.
You were doing the game on TV with Jake yesterday, and I noticed in his first at-bat, he's been getting so many sliders and pitches down and in, but in his first at-bat yesterday, he took 2 fastballs right down the middle, and I thought, he's overthinking right now.
Yeah, right. That's what happens. Young hitter.
Out over the plate and line to Young at second base. 3 up, 3 down, 1-0 Royals to the bottom of the 4th.
His big league umpiring career in the major leagues in 1999. What do these two have in common? The same thing tonight that they had in common all the way back in 2013. Everyone always talks about Joe West in that game on May 30th, 2013, the Michael Wacha debut against the Royals in the game that ended at 3:14 in the morning. The home plate umpire that game for Wacha's debut was none other than Andy Fletcher, and brought that up with him today. And as so many people from that game do, he pulled out his phone, not to show images of Michael Wacha, the young Wacha there, and that's Fletcher behind the plate, but he pulled out a shot of he and Joe West out there on the field discussing what was going to happen. He remembered every bit of it, including that after the game, 3 in the morning limo ride from St. Louis to Chicago, as they had a day game at Wrigley Field the next day. And he said that they actually, in the rain, passed the equipment truck with all the umpires' gear. There was a tarp hanging out of it, and that was what they remembered in between catching Z's on the way to Chicago. So long time ago, but Andy Fletcher, just like many of us, still pulls out that phone and says, I was there, I remember it. Guys, my favorite still piece of that story is Joe West, as only Joe West can do, and he told me this the next time we saw him, coming to the plate for the exchange of lineup cards, and he said, there will be no rebellion today.
Randy Arozarena goes to the opposite field, and Wacha, throwing a lot of strikes, had retired 10 of the last 11, and Arozarena jumps on the first pitch and ties the game at 1.
Wow, look at this opposite field shot. He keeps his hands inside and got underneath it. That was a perfect swing. Ball was elevated. It was out over the middle. It was going to get hit hard, but because he got under it so well, he was able to hit it just far enough.
That was not a very good catch in the outfield.
No, not a good attempt. But you know what, though? Not
hope he's
everybody,
all right, by the way.
Not everybody can be as athletic as you and I.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad the Royals don't do any gimmicks like that. Maybe they should start. Since they haven't hit a lot of home runs, maybe they should.
So last year or the year before, they had that Spartans helmet.
2 years ago. I think last year they lost it.
1-2 on Dominic Canzone. Mariners hit home runs. They're 3rd in the league. And hit the front of the mound, which creates a tough hop for Bobby Witt Jr. And Canzone will be on with 2 down.
Yeah, he came and got it. He wanted to attack the baseball, but that one he might could have laid back on it. And it's really, when it hits that mound, it takes some funny hops and changes the spin. And when Junior went to pick it up, it had that extra spin and it hopped up higher than he anticipated. It's not easy playing shortstop.
Omar Vizquel is the official scorer tonight, and he's called that an error 6. That is not an error.
No, look. Okay, so he decides he's going to come in, And it was a long hop, too, and it's hard to read that second spin when it hits the mound.
Now Solano goes the other way. All right, I'm going to get on my soapbox. There are too many official scorers, in my opinion, who don't go with their first instinct on a play. And if you know anything about the spin of a baseball when it hits the front of the mound, so what they do is they wait for the replay and they watch it in super slow motion. Yeah, that looks like an error in super slow motion. But for a ball that hits the front of the mound, ask Carlos Correa about ground balls hit off the front of the mound in the playoffs against the Royals in 15.
Cost them.
That is, when you wait, when an official scorer waits to watch the replay in slow motion, you've completely taken the degree of difficulty out of the play.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm sure Bobby doesn't mind, and hopefully this doesn't hurt the Royals right here, but that is not a play of ordinary effort.
Thank you. I couldn't have said it better.
Okay, I feel better. Thank you.
No. It's accurate.
0-1 on Garver. Here's regular speed. That ball picks up velocity when it hits the ground.
Sure does.
It's not a true hop at all. What was that game in Minnesota earlier this year? The game ended on a play like that. Bobby came charging in and played it on a short hop, and it looked routine, but you and I were commenting that, that's not a routine play at all on a ball that hits the front of the mound. Two balls, one strike on Garver. So with 2 outs and nobody on, Mariners get a home run. Then the base hit that was called an error. Another base hit. And now Garver, who's coming off an excellent road trip. And now it's 3 balls, 1 strike. Four home runs, 20 RBIs for the year, but he had a trip where he was really stinging the ball, and now he takes ball 4, and suddenly the bases are loaded.
Okay, got to stop the bleeding right here.
And now Miles Mastrobuoni, who lined out to center field in the 3rd inning. Just missed inside. There's another guy that spent a long time in the minor leagues. 7 seasons in the minor leagues before he was called up. And now outside, 2-0.
Well, he's not nibbling per se, and nibbling's a term used for a guy who's he doesn't want to throw a strike. I mean, Walker's just trying to stay on the edges. Now he's going to have to be forced in. He can't walk him. He's got to make him earn it. There you go.
And that leads Junior to the bag. So Walker gives up a run, but feeling good as he comes off the mound. Drew Waters leads off the fifth inning in a 1-1 tie thanks to a Arenas home run. Waters struck out leading off the third inning. Shallow right, and Canzone makes the play, 1 down. Royals got a 2-out RBI single from Bobby Witt Jr. against Kirby in the third, and then with 2 outs, Arozarena homered for the Mariners. John Rave grounded back to the mound in his first at-bat. High strike, 1-1. Royals have had 3 base runners, and all 3 were in the third inning. George Kirby set down the first 8 Royals, and then Isbell, India, and Junior had singles, and now Kirby has retired the last 5.
Talking about it, they're sitting there watching the way you should be, right there. Not on any iPad or anything like that. Watch a live shot of the pitcher trying to get the hitter out. You learn a lot more by watching live. Shocker. I think you could be an official. Ouch, that hurt, man.
Well, what HUD's referring to is they just made an announcement that is not an error on Bobby Witt Jr. They have changed it to a base hit. And did I hear because of the spin? Is that what they said?
I heard it. Wow.
He said
like they were
crazy
listening.
because of the crazy spin.
He was listening.
Nice to know that our official scorer listens to our broadcast.
I love that. He knew it, and that's why I kept my score. I kept base hit in there. I didn't even move, put an air out there. Way to go, partner.
Rave is down on strikes, 2 down. Golick and Golick is on FanDuel Sports Network, only on FanDuel Sports Network. Weekdays at 2 with big personalities and some of the biggest names in sports. Mike Golick Sr. and Mike Golick Jr. on FanDuel Sports Network.
Oh, it's
Kyle Isbell in this exact situation in the third inning, singled with 2 outs and nobody on, and then came around to score on Bobby Witt Jr.'s single. 1 ball, 1 strike.
So then after you've had an at-bat off Kirby, and you've seen him up there, your 4 or 5 pitches, however many you see, and you see him wiggle his glove, second, third time, you're like, all right, I'm done even looking at that. Just give me a pitch to hit. Because he does it every single time. And so after that, you're like, not going to let him get me. And he does that every pitch. Wants to see the fork ball. So if he goes forkball every pitch to put in his glove, and then he starts, if he didn't shake his glove, a hitter would be able to see any kind of movement, whether he came off the split, or if he went wider and his glove got bigger. Little things like that. And when you're that close to seeing him, that's why he does that. Every pitch.
He shrugs his shoulders a couple of times also, and if he's not careful, someone will figure out he only shrugs his shoulders once when he's throwing a fastball, twice if he's...
Or a curve, or an off-speed pitch.
So you got the wiggle. Now watch the shoulders. 1, 2.
Yeah, so you do a lot of that. Hitters can pick it up after a period of time.
Rodriguez in center field makes the catch, and the Royals go down 1-2-3 in the 5th.
If I'm going bad now, all my weakness keep
Cole Young, number 9 hitter, leads off. He got a good swing against Waka in the 3rd inning and lined out to right. Two and 0. Line to right again. This one drops in front of Rave. And the Mariners have their leadoff man on for the 2nd time.
Fastball right in the middle. Actually, it was a changeup, and that's why he was able to pull it. It stayed up. 87 you're going to be out in front of. That was his 94, 95. He would have been behind it.
J.P. Crawford is 1 for 2. He led off the 1st inning with a single and then was erased on a double play. Michael Garcia won't get there. It hit the netting on the way down. 1-1 on Crawford, who hit .202 last year. His OPS was .625, and he had the highest strikeout rate of any season in the big leagues. He also went on the injured list twice. And I remember when the Royals were playing the Mariners in spring training this year, the Mariners had him batting 9th. Ground ball left side. Junior has it go off of his glove. And now we'll see how they score this one.
That's a hit, too.
I don't think he would have gotten Young at second base. I don't think he would have gotten Crawford at first.
No, and the ball hopped up on him at the last hop. So, you know, they're just hitting it. And you run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 steps to the hole. You can't assume that he's gonna make that play.
And it is an infield hit. And 2 on and nobody out for Julio Rodriguez. And that's going to drop into right center field. Young held. He did not get a good read on that ball. So he moves up to third. And the bases are loaded with nobody out for Cal Raleigh.
Well, at least Walker's going after these guys ahead of Cal. We were talking about, how important it is when you're facing such a big-time hitter like Raleigh to get those hitters before him. Well, they hit him. They put the ball in play, and they got on base.
And many fans are standing and cheering, anticipating another big hit from Raleigh.
Best scenario here, Ryan. Hit into a double play, give him a run.
He's had soft contact twice. He had a routine fly ball to center in the first inning and grounded softly to second in the fourth. But this is his third at bat against Waka.
Of course, best case scenario would to be strike him out and then let Rosarena hit into a double play. But
good pitch. And a good take by Raleigh. If he swings at that pitch, the Royals probably get that double play.
I've seen so many highlights of him hitting balls that were off speed down below, so be careful with those. I'd stay up with heaters. I think that's what they're doing.
2 balls, 1 strike. And now down and in. Raleigh has hit 21 of his home runs on fastballs, but they aren't fastballs up and in. And what's Walker going to do here? 3-1.
Ooh.
Oh, went right after him.
He did. Now comes the changeup. Located perfectly down and away, and you get a strikeout or a little pop-up.
Waka's been in this spot before. And Raleigh hits it very high to right field. Young is tagging. Rave gets behind it. And he's going to come to the plate. And it's going to be late. It was going to be a long throw for him, either to home or to third. And Cal Raleigh hits a sac fly, and Seattle leaves 2-1.
All right, not a bad outcome. They'll take it. He just got under it, just missed it. And I don't think that Rave, it was deep enough to where he couldn't have got out anywhere, third base or home.
So all things considered, the Royals will take that.
Right.
And now this is the big matchup here to see if the Mariners can add on. Rosarena, on the first pitch he saw in the fourth inning, homered to right center field. He has also popped out to second. And Salvi gets a glove on it to save a run. There's a lot of room behind home plate here. If it gets by the catcher, that's about as close to an automatic run as you're going to get. Crawford is the runner at third. Rodriguez is at first. Got the call. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mariners are having some issues like the Royals, hitting with runners in scoring position. Batting just .233 for the year. Close. Rodriguez would like to get a jump and steal a base and take the double play away, not running. And it's outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. And the Royals continue to be remarkable this year in managing the running game. The pitchers give the credit to the catchers give the credit to the pitchers. But look at the size of that lead. Waka slide steps, and it's fouled away.
Oh, man, he got away with a pitch there. That was right in the middle. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go either. You got to. Salvi's thrown out 8 of 15. That's almost half the runners. That's over 50%. An incredible mark. Try to get him to hit it down. He's hitting the 5 double plays, make it 6 right here.
Instead, it's driven into deep right center field again, and that is Arozarena's second home run of the night. This one is worth 3.
You go opposite field home run early for your first home run, that really locks you in. You're seeing the ball well, you let the ball travel, makes you even more dangerous the next time up. The previous pitch before he hits the homer, the second one, it was right there. He just missed it. Here's a pitch sequence. Okay, breaking ball down, not even close. Fastball, got the corner, got the call. Slider off the plate. Okay, that's the one he missed right there, and there it was, elevated. So it just probably was the wrong choice of pitches, back-to-back fastballs to a guy who already took you deep on that pitch.
And it was clear that he timed the fastball 2 pitches ago.
Right.
Dominic Canzone with 1 out. Way out in front. Another bad swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two and two on Canzone. Timeout was called. That foul ball was still in play, and now we're ready to go. Three and two, and now Walkup in fewer than 5 innings has gone over 90 pitches, and Daniel Lynch is warming up in a hurry. Waka fields and throws him out. Seattle has a 4-run 5th inning. Or take that back, 2nd out of the inning. And now Donovan Solano. Solano is singled and walked. He had a 12-pitch plate appearance in the 2nd inning. He was down 0-2.
That's incredible. You know, you'd rather win it with a hit, but you feel just as good getting a walk as you set that pitcher back.
Garcia was deep at 3rd, and he throws. Vinny stretches, and it's in time.
Nice play. Way to get on top of that throw, get something on it.
Royals are down by 4 in the 6th inning. Jonathan India is 1 for 2. Randy Arozarena has driven in 4 of the 5 runs with a couple of opposite field home runs against Michael Wacha, his teammate for 1 year in Tampa Bay. No swing. Arozarena had an excellent beginning to his big league career, which got going in the COVID year. Hit well to right field. Canzone is on the track for the out. That was that abbreviated 2020 season when Tampa Bay went to the World Series, and Arozarena, remember, had that amazing postseason, and then he was still a rookie. Still had rookie eligibility in 2021, and he was American League Rookie of the Year, even though he'd already been to a World Series. But then last year, he scuffled for the Rays and was traded over here and had a nice finish to the season, but nothing special. But he hasn't been the same player since he was in 2023, but he's had a big night tonight. Kirby got the call. 1 ball, 1 strike on Bobby Witt Jr. Bobby's single in the 3rd inning drove in the Royals' run. It also gives him a 20-game hitting streak on the road. 1-2. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. And ever since Bobby's 2-out RBI single in the 3rd inning, the Royals have not had a base runner. Kirby's set down the last 8 after retiring the first 8 tonight, and 3 straight hits, and now he's retired 8 in a row for a 2nd time. And that slider gave Bobby fits in his first at-bat. Kirby strikes out his 4th, and they're 2 down.
Pretty good location there. And that's what he's doing all night long. Fastballs early, sliders away. Finish it.
Michael Garcia has grounded out twice.
He got away with one there. That was a good pitch to hit.
Oh, 2. And Kirby's getting a little bit of help from the home plate umpire, but he's also doing a good job of pitching to the edges of the strike zone. One ball, 2 strikes. Into the crowd. Didn't get a very good swing, and Kirby gets a shutdown inning right after his team added 4 in the bottom of the 5th. Mariners scored 5 runs on 8 hits over 5 innings against Michael Wacha. Wacha also gave up 8 hits on Wednesday against Tampa Bay, but all 8 of those hits were singles. And tonight, he was hurt by a couple of home runs. Randy Arozarena with nobody on in the 4th inning, and then Arozarena again in the 5th with 2 on. Two balls, 2 strikes on Mitch Garver. And Lynch begins his outing with a strikeout. 1 out, and here's a message from Rally House.
Play ball, KC. Shop the latest in Royal style with your favorite brand.
With 1 out. There's Gabe Spire, former Royal. And he looks like he's warmed up and getting ready to come into the game. 1-1 on Mastroboni. Two and 1. Mastroboni was a teammate with Vinny a couple of years ago on Team Italy. And the Mastrobonis and the Pasquantinos have been going at it for decades back in Italy.
Well, they're friends now, I hope.
And Mastroboni is on with a 1-out walk. So he and Vinny can chat about the next World Baseball Classic.
That's right.
There you go. I think, there are rules as to what country you can play for. I think, is it your grandparents have to be native of that country?
That's part of it.
I think that's the minimum requirement. If your parents are from there, or obviously if you're from there, but if you go, I don't think if your great-grandparents are from that country that qualifies.
Right.
Unless I think you just have a really cool Italian last name, and then they just say,
You're in.
Go ahead, we got to put you on Team Italy.
The rules for a lot of things. But that's always a good time. That's coming up next year.
2-1 on Cole Young. He got the 4-run inning started in the 5th with a leadoff single, and Crawford singled, then Rodriguez singled. Cal Raleigh hit a bases-loaded sac fly, and then Randy Arozarena hit a 3-run home run. And Mariners fans, just like every other fans, hate it when a pitcher throws over to first base.
So much that they've got to boo.
Grounded right side and through. Mastroboni will make the turn. And the Mariners have runners at first and third with 1 out. Cole Young has a 2-hit game.
Yeah, he's on it. Inside pitch, just pulled it right by Vinny. Daniel, he's got a sinking fastball, slider, curve, changeup, and got to be good with the location here. See if you can roll a pair and get out of it.
J.P. Crawford has 2 hits tonight. Not very deep.
Throw him out.
Waters get some forward momentum. And Mastroboni isn't going anywhere. 2 down. Julio Rodriguez singled and scored on a Rosarena's 3-run home run. He is 1 for 3. Very high, ball 1.
Kid Cole Young hadn't stolen a base yet.
Talking to Vance Wilson before the game tonight about why the Royals have managed the running game so well. And Royals have found a way to prevent the runner from first from getting a good jump. That's the key for them. Line to center. And Isbell has it. So the 1-out walk and single are stranded. 5-1 Seattle. Salvi and Caglione. He is the only left-handed thrower on the entire roster, including position players. They don't have a left-handed starting pitcher. They have one lefty in the bullpen and no left-handed throwers among their position players.
That's very interesting. I don't think I've ever seen it. Dodgers had 5 lefties in their bullpen.
Right.
Spire, he's a left-hander, but he throws strikes. Okay, fastball, slider, change. Keeps it simple. Low 90s, 5'11", 200. Not a real big guy. He's got a lot more colorful since I've seen him last.
0-2 on Vinny. Vinny was 0 for 2 against George Kirby. So this bodes well for the Royals in this series, with Spire being the only lefty out of the bullpen. And Spire strikes him out on 3 pitches. Gabe spent parts of 4 years with the Royals, and this is season number 3 for him here in Seattle.
You know, Ryan, typically when you see no lefties and maybe just one in their bullpen, tells me that they've got some righties that are sinker ballers, that have great numbers against left-handed hitters. And, you know, you can do that with right-handers to get lefties out. But they have to have a certain arsenal. They have to have good sinkers, change-ups going away. I know Mike Scioscia won his only world championship managing the Angels in 2002 with all righties in the bullpen.
One and two on Salvi. The Mariners needed a good start. They needed a long start. And we were telling you about the 3 extra inning games against Texas over the weekend. The Mariners have played 13 extra inning games already. So that's a lot of workload from the bullpen. That's a swing and a miss. And Raleigh throws it down there anyway. So in 3 games against Texas, bullpen threw 16 innings. They gave up 6 runs, but only 2 were earned. And only one pitcher, Trent Thornton, did not pitch in multiple games. So they got 6 at a Kirby tonight. Caglione gets tied up. And fortunately for him, that is foul. And man, he's seen one pitch after another like that. In on him, in off the plate.
Yep. Big league pitching has been tough on him.
There you go.
Into the corner and foul.
Okay. Now, I watched him in batting practice today, and I talked to his hitting coach, Alex Zumwalt, and he said that he didn't pull one ball going all left field. Looked locked up there. Looked like he was thinking.
Spires strikes out the side, and 2 of those strikeouts were on 3 pitches. And the Mariners tonight, among other things, have done a good job of avoiding strikeouts. Salvi appears to have a equipment issue, maybe a pitch comm issue.
Something's missing. They're looking on the ground.
There's Kevin Seitzer, former Royal, who still lives in Kansas City with his wife Beth. This is his first year as Mariners hitting coach after a successful run in Atlanta. This is his first year on Dan Wilson's staff, and everywhere he goes, the team seem to hit. And we've already told you about their big turnaround. And I don't think it's any surprise that, among other things the Mariners have done better this year, it's cut down their strikeouts. And they led the major leagues in strikeouts last year by a pretty wide margin. They still have a ways to go, but they've cut the strikeouts down so far this year. Cal Raleigh bats right-handed for the first time. Michael Wacha had his share of 2-strike counts over his 5th innings tonight. But the Mariners only struck out once, and then Daniel Lynch got a strikeout in his first inning.
Yeah, and he only walked 2, Wacha, and none of them hurt him. Just 2 long balls.
Deep right center field. Isbell is at the wall, and that's another home run for Cal Raleigh. Number 33.
Well, that's our Polestar electric moment once again. And that ball's outside, the breaking ball. Tried to bring it in the back door, and Raleigh says, no, I'm going to take you through the back door with my barrel. And beautifully struck ball just enough. Got it over the scope, scraped it over the back of the wall.
And now Rosarena, who has already homered twice. The Mariners are wearing out right center field tonight, with 3 home runs by right-hand batters to right center. Now Rosarena pulls it on the ground to short, and Junior throws him out, 1 away. So getting back to the improvements by the offense this year under Kevin Seitzer's leadership, Mariners are in the top 5 this year in runs per game, home runs, and stolen bases.
Sights, you like it out here? Up here?
Loves it.
Good.
I asked him the same thing. How do you like it here? And he pulled out his phone and he showed me a view of where he's staying.
Oh, nice.
And it was a view of the water.
Oh, beautiful.
That is through the right side. Canzone is 1 for 4. Mariners were really in need of a direction offensively, and talking about all the strikeouts last year and all the troubles that they had offensively, which most likely kept them out of the postseason. They were the 2nd worst offense in baseball for the first 5 months. And then the Mariners made a change, not only with their manager when Scott Service was let go, but they also fired their hitting coach. And then Edgar Martinez rejoined the organization as a hitting consultant, kind of finished the year as the hitting coach, and he's still with them. But he's not in the weeds with the day-to-day. But he and Kevin Seitzer, who are both not only good hitters, but really good situational hitters. And they're working great together. Vinny has room, and that is 2 down.
Yeah, hitting coach no longer is just one coach, like it used to be for a long time. Now there's 3 coaches, and that's about right.
And after the change with manager and hitting coaches last year, the Mariners finished strong. They averaged almost 6 runs per game in that final month of the season. Want to know on Mitch Garver, 6-1 Seattle in the bottom of the 7th inning. 1-1. That looked like a swing, and it was. 1-2. Where was that?
Looked pretty good.
Now Salvi says, okay, I understand it wasn't a swing, but where was the pitch? Junior gets a nice bounce, and he's over to India for the out. But the Mariners add to their lead on the Cal Raleigh home run. The Olympic Mountains, and when you're this far north, it gets darker much later, and it is 8:35 Pacific Daylight Time, and we're still a ways away from it getting dark. This is Trent Thornton, and Drew Waters leads off for a third time tonight. There's downtown Seattle.
Such a beautiful place.
It is.
And great to see a lot of Royals fans taking advantage of them being up here, coming out and seeing them. I mean, you know, sometimes there's Royal fans all over the country, we know, but most of them all came from Kansas City just to see it up here. I like it. They're not from here.
I would definitely say if you are a baseball fan and you want to see one of the best ballparks in Major League Baseball and you want to see the Royals on the road, this is a bucket list stadium.
Yeah, indeed.
Waters hits it right to a Rosarena. One away.
Folks, you like hot dogs, come out to the K every Tuesday home games for $1 Dog Night. Brought to you by Price Chopper and Heinz. Visit Royals.com/promotions for tickets. Yum, yum. Yeah. I saw that couple out in front of the stadium today. They look a little happier then, but it's okay. Got 2 more shots. This kid Thornton, he rears back. He's a guy with going to throw you some arms and legs. He's mid-90s pitcher with a slider, curve, and change. And you hear us every night talk about this guy has a fastball, slider, change, curveball. They all have the same things, most of them. There's a couple new invented pitches, over the last few years. But they're different totally because every pitcher throws it differently. It has different arm angles and different starts to their delivery. Their wind-up, they're slower, they're faster, their arm speed. So it's totally different. That's what makes it hard. Some guys have sharper breaks, some guys don't. Spin rate, you hear a lot of that.
Ooh, Rave pulls it deep, home run distance, but foul.
Man, good swing. He's got a couple. He needs a game. He needs to get some confidence.
And to the left side, nice backhand play by Mastroboni, but Rave will beat it out.
That's it. Too bad it didn't go through cleanly, but man, that's a hit all the way. Good hustle. He earned it. And away. Yeah, that's a really nice opposite field swing. Too bad there was a guy there, but with that good speed, he's able to run it, man. Look at that. He smells it. Get there. Yeah, that's how you play the game. High alert every day, every hit, every time you put it in play. Then you develop a good reputation. Fans like to watch hustlers, guys that play hard. And you help your team, you energize your team. You bring them energy.
Kyle Isbell with 2 outs and nobody on in the 3rd inning singled. And then 2 singles later, he scored on Bobby Witt Jr.'s hit, and the Royals led 1-0. But the Mariners have scored the last 6 with 3 home runs tonight and a sacrifice fly. That'll land in the seats. We were talking about this place opening in the middle of 1999, and then 2 seasons after that, the Mariners won 116 games, and this place was rocking. You remember.
Oh, man.
And it seemed like they were never going to lose again. Wow. They didn't get very far in the playoffs in that 2001 season, considering how many regular season games. But they went from 2001 to 2022 without going to the playoffs. Now, they had some 90-win seasons. In fact, they had 3 90-win seasons during that stretch. Just wasn't enough to get to the playoffs. And then Cal Raleigh hit that walk-off home run against Oakland here that finally broke them through. Three balls, 2 strikes, but Mariners have missed the postseason in 22 of the last 23 seasons. But if you had told me coming here in 01, when they won all those games, that they would not go to the postseason again until 2022, I would have told you, you have lost your mind.
Right. I mean, how could they not? So dominant. I remember Ichiro. That was his
MVP? Rookie/MVP season.
Right. Couldn't shut him down. He was a treat to watch. And now this year, in a couple of weeks, he's going into the Hall of Fame.
And if I remember correctly, that was also the first year for the Mariners that they were without Ken Griffey Jr., Alex Rodriguez, and Randy Johnson. There's a strike on Jonathan India. So there you go. There's at least Hall of Fame caliber players the three of them, if you count Alex Rodriguez, even though he's not in the Hall of Fame. 1 ball, 1 strike on India. But the feeling was that, they had the superstar power with those 3 guys, but they were a better team once the 3 of them had moved on. Two and one on India. Now all of a sudden this inning is getting interesting with the Royals down by 5 and running out of outs. 2 balls, 1 strike with Bobby Witt Jr. and Michael Garcia coming up if India can avoid hitting into a double play. And he gets hit, and the bases are loaded with 1 out for Jr.
Okay, it's time to get back in it. He didn't want to do that, Thornton. Oh, that's a belly burner.
A belly burner?
Yeah, ooh, ouch. Watch this. Hit him right in the gut. Ah. And Kyle caught it, so it didn't hit him squarely.
This is pitching coach Pete Woodworth. So here's the Royals shot to get back into the game. And you get the 8 and 9 hitters on. And then India gets on for a second time tonight.
How about that? Nope. Oh, there goes Raleigh putting his hand over his mouth. I was thinking, they don't care if anybody's lip reading them. I like it. Well, Junior knows what to do.
He has driven in the only run for the Royals with a 2-out single back in the 3rd inning.
.29 ABs, 4 slams already. Man, oh man.
And that missed badly. Royals, over 8 innings tonight, have only had 2 innings with base runners. 3 straight hits in the 3rd and a run, and now 3 straight base runners in the 8th. And that's up the middle. Crawford flips to second, 1, and no double play. The Mariners want to take another look at it, but for now, Rave scores. It is 6-2. And Dan Wilson will not challenge.
No.
And Michael Garcia will come up.
You can't double up Junior. He's only doubled up 1 time this year. Didn't hit it hard enough. Unfortunately, he couldn't get it airborne, but you can see how he beats it. Look where he every time hits the bag. That's where you do it, folks. You don't step in the middle of the bag. You step right in the front of it. Get you there quicker.
Michael fouls it away.
Yeah, pick up that ribby. Third base, little 2-out hit. That's how they scored their first run with 2 outs.
One and one. That's Matt Brash. 2 and 1. Good pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Grounded to the right side, and Young throws him out. So the Royals had a shot for a big inning. They get 1, and it's 6-2 to the bottom of the
Heard me say it many times. That's really good, though. You got guys like that with that kind of range. Not a lot gets through.
Lucas Erceg comes in with the Royals down by 4. He pitched Friday night against the Dodgers. 1 ball, 1 strike against Mastroboni. Mastroboni's the number 8 hitter. He'll be followed by Cole Young and J.P. Crawford. One and 2. Hit right to Junior. Perfect scouting report. 1 away. And here's a word from your Kansas City area Toyota dealers.
Dear unbreakable spirit, you roam on paths called impossible.
Now Cole Young. Every time I say Cole Young, I can't help but think of Cole Younger. He was part of the James Younger gang.
That's right.
Cole Younger, born and ended up dying in his hometown of Lee Summit. It wasn't named Lee Summit, just considered Jackson County when he was born. My late father-in-law admired Jesse James and Cole Younger.
What do you like about him?
Well, that's a longer story if you read into the history of the behind the cause, which ended up sending them to prison. But Cole Younger, later in life, repented of his criminal past. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Nice.
And if anyone was interested in dating Sarah in high school,
right,
or even afterwards, my father-in-law would take them over to the Lee Summit Historical Cemetery and made them pay their respects to Cole Younger's grave. That's a true story.
I like that.
So, and he passed away late August of last year. But if he was still with us, I would imagine that he would immediately make Cole Young his favorite non-Royals baseball player.
Yeah. Hey, look. Kind of like it.
Now, I was not required to go over to the cemetery on 291 Highway in Lee Summit and pay my respects because, first of all, I was in my 30s.
Yeah.
But Sarah prepared me that when he asked me about Cole Younger, that I had 3 bullet points memorized.
Oh, there you go. Good scouting report.
Yep. So that gave me an exemption from, not that I would be against going over there, and for the sake of my father-in-law.
Ooh. You married a beauty, though, man. Congratulations. She's awesome.
One ball, 1 strike on J.P. Crawford. Two and 1.
Erceg with a fastball, slider changeup, all hard to hit. Good movement on the 2-seamer.
Two and 2. That's going to get by Salvi and move Young up to second base. That got some glove, but that likely will be a wild pitch considering how far Salvi had to reach. And it is a wild pitch.
Just the second one on the season for Ursig.
And Crawford lifts it into shallow left center field. Waters didn't get a great break, and now he has to come sprinting in and get his glove in between the ball and the grass for the second out. Price Chopper Royals Live is on the air tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And Joel will be joined by HUD again as Michael Lorenzen gets ready for Game 2 against the Mariners. Noah Cameron and Logan Gilbert on Wednesday night. Seth Lugo and Brian Wu on Thursday. Julio Rodriguez takes a strike, 0-2. He's 1 for 4 and scored on Randy Arozarena's 3-run home run in the 5th inning. Arozarena has driven in 4 of Seattle's 6 runs with a couple of home runs. And Rodriguez strikes out. So Ursig has a scoreless bottom of the 8th. Royals have Vinny, Salvi, and Caglione coming up, down by 4 in the 9th.
Well, he's hadn't pitched a whole lot. You can tell the numbers are way down, though, man. Nobody hits him. He's tough. He's got a lot of life on that fastball. He'll go 95 to 98. Slider, changeup, curveball. He's got all of them now. Will he use them all? I doubt it. You got that good a fastball, you just do fastball sliders usually. Breaking ball.
Three pitches, and down goes Vinny.
Coming to the K, July 9th for Superman Night. Snap a picture at the Fortress of Solitude photo op and take home a Salvi Royal Superman bobblehead with the purchase of a theme ticket. Visit Royals.com/Superman for tickets.
Salvi is 0 for 3. One and one. Under his chin. Matt Brash, you can see why he's eventually settled in as a reliever. He has, I think, the quintessential description of a max effort delivery. I mean, he just reaches back and, he just lets it go.
Be easy to see why he could get hurt. Some deliveries scare scouts and scare teams because they're afraid they're going to go down, break down.
Mastroboni throws out Salvi, and there are 2 down. Jack Caglione is 0 for 3. And really had a tough time in his last at-bat against Gabe Spire, swinging at pitches out of the strike zone. Got the call on what looked like a high curveball. One ball, one strike. Seattle entered tonight 6.5 games back of Houston. They have spent 34 days this year in first place. Caglione hits it into center field. Rodriguez is there, and the Mariners take the first of 4. Randy Arozarena led the way with a home run in the 4th and a 3-run home run in the 5th. So he drives in 4 of 6. Cal Raleigh hit his big league leading 33rd home run of the year. 6-2 Mariners. We'll be right back.